welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly, where we pick an idea from the hat and try to develop it.
Okay, so there really are monsters under your bed, a whole kingdom of them.
Space dilation.
Yeah, Monsters Incorporated.
So is this a portal, a pocket dimension, or just a strange...
Or are they really, really small?
Yeah.
What kind of monsters are we looking at? Big, scary, really, are we looking at this is a kid's show, kind of fun little monsters?
Is this Mike and Sully, or is this, Alien? Or...
Right. I would go, let's go monsters under the bed. Oh, we could go so many ways. Okay, what do we want to do?
All right, so the question is, why are do monsters live under your bed?
So they don't get stepped on?
If they are small, then that is an option. That monsters are just really small, and so they hide under beds in order to make sure no one steps on them. If that's the case, though, there's probably also a monster under the desk.
Maybe they grow out of dirty socks.
If that's the case, most of them are going to be in your closet.
Well, that is
What's a washing machine? They're always in the washing machine.
They're the ones that steal your socks! We have an explanation!
Right!
They could be guardians of children.
Oh, that could be interesting.
So the reason they go over, they're under the beds is so that they can protect the kids while they sleep or protect their dreams. Or
okay, now one thing, this is assuming there are monsters under everyone's beds. And it doesn't say that in the prompt. It says there really are monsters under your bed, a whole kingdom of them. So I'm kind of thinking hidden world here. Mm-hmm. So why is there a portal to a monster land under your particular bed? Or whoever is your hero.
Under a particular bed.
Does this kid happen to be like a demigod or something?
Or someone special, or just someone important. They could be protecting some important person.
Here's another question. Is it tied to the person whose bed this owns, or tied to the bed itself?
I'm thinking the bed.
Okay, if it's tied to the bed, then that means this was likely something where there was someone important who was connected to this bed.
Now, if we want to get a little creepy, because I know people are thinking, we could do something where this was there was an evil sorcerer, wizard, who actually opened this portal, so that to allow the monsters in, and then covered the portal with the bed, so that people wouldn't know it was there. Mm-hmm. And these were monsters that he is using or was using to
try to invade the world.
Yeah,
if you go that route, that would definitely be a high fantasy kind of story.
Yeah.
Which, the way I heard this, I don't think that it really quite fits to have it be high fantasy. Honestly, the thing I was thinking for a lot of the idea of the story behind this is, I kind of feel like it makes sense to say that the reason these monsters exist is because there was someone who this bed belonged to, who had some kind of special energy that allowed them to kind of accidentally create life, and they accidentally created an entire kingdom of monsters under their bed. But they were also the source of these monsters' life, and they moved out. These monsters are slowly breaking down and turning into legitimate monsters.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
That could be fun.
So now you buy a house and you don't realize, you buy a furnished house and you don't realize there are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what if...
Twist on a ghost story.
Yeah.
No,
that could be interesting.
What if there's a portal to another realm, and it's not so much that there are monsters like hiding under your bed, waiting for you to go to sleep so they can eat you and stuff, but it's more that occasionally these things get lost from their realm under the bed into our world, and they're so alien that usually kids think of them as monsters. And so, and then you could always have a story where these monsters aren't actually trying to hurt people at all. They just want to go back home, but they're lost in our world type thing. I don't know.
Okay, but at the same time, you don't have a really strong villain that way.
No, that was just like
I mean, it's a good
Yeah.
idea, but we do need to develop it a little more to give ourselves a stronger villain.
Well, if you had the wizard who created this portal in this world, you could have something where some of the monsters would be good creatures, except that because his magic is gone, they're kind of slowly breaking down and deteriorating. But they could be able to, be redeemed and be good guys by the end of the story. Sorry.
Okay, so basically what I'm thinking might be going on with this is probably some kind of child who, for some reason or another, I don't know if the reason's actually important to this, had some kind of power akin to a god, where he was able to accidentally, where his imagination and his dreams ended up forging a world underneath his bed. And for quite a while, this place was entirely stable. The problem is, once he moved out, this world started deteriorating without his imagination, his dreams to fuel it. So the monsters started degrading, and because of that, a lot of them started losing their way and finding themselves in our world. They weren't, at first, this wasn't too big of a deal because these monsters are still pretty just people. They were come up by a child, so they're not too mean. But as it starts going on, the new family ends up realizing this is something wrong, and they end up reporting it, and then someone figures out about these monsters and decides, these monsters have quite a lot of capabilities that humans can't match.
What are you going for in this case? You seem to be describing a horror movie one second, and then an action fantasy the next.
Yeah, good
But that's
point.
okay.
I'm just kind of
You
just
spitballing
define the
because I'm
genre.
looking
Just
at
figure it
this,
out.
and these
But
are the
yes.
ideas that are kind of racking around in my
Okay.
brain
Oh,
and
yeah,
trying to
What if we
organize.
combine some of this and we've got these monsters, so somehow this world was created. I like the idea of
I don't like the world being created. I like it being just another world, but have the person who originally owned this bed be a dream walker. They have the ability to traverse dimensions during their dreams, and because of that, their bed that they would always walk through the realms while laying in eventually became a portal to one of these realms.
Oh, that is good.
That is a really cool
I like
idea.
that. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
with
let's
that.
go with that one.
But now one thing that could happen is that these monsters could have some problem back in their realm, and they are coming, trying to find this dreamwalker who isn't sleeping in this bed, and they're trying to find the dreamwalker. But as they're going out and trying to find the dreamwalker, they're seen as just monsters.
Yeah.
But then you have someone that's going, wait a second, look at the power these things have. Let's exploit it. Because somebody's always going to, if something can be exploited, someone's going to
try.
do it.
So the
Quite
kind of thing
right.
where, from the monster's perspective, they're
could-
trying to find the one person they know has a chance of being able to help them with their issue. The humans are going, monsters are coming out of this bed, and we don't know how to deal with this. And then you have the person that they have, probably something like an exterminator who is really sick of his job and wants something more, is going, what if I tried to manipulate these monsters to gain their power? Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't see it as an exterminator, but you could have somebody, whether it's
someone who takes it as an opportunity.
You could go a lot of ways with that.
You could also have one of the monsters figure out, hey, wait, when we go to the human realm, we have fangs and claws and things that these humans don't have, and have a monster try to come in and exploit the situation. They're not mutually exclusive either.
True.
You can have two villains.
Also, I kind of like the idea of the monsters being in the human world, and instead of, making all the humans we're going to just kill them. Of course, we're going to be afraid of them, but not necessarily have your big bad be there. We haven't done really, the hidden world yet in this, where we're going back and fighting the problem in the hidden world.
Yeah, this is actually a case for that. In fact, you could literally have the story be somebody, they have the new house, and then somebody rolls under the bed and then finds himself in a different world type thing.
Yeah, but I also like the idea of these monsters looking for the Dreamwalker. And I don't know what's happened to the Dreamwalker. You could, if you wanted, make your Dreamwalker your hero. But I like them looking for the Dreamwalker, and the people that are now living in the house figuring out what's going on and them connecting to the new
Mhm.
person. You know, you got a nice teenage boy or, you know, something that has this now sleeps in this bed, and he's going to go help them, and, you know, his
Mhm.
family's going to help them.
Yeah.
And so
You could make it a whole family story and bring, you know,
bring the family there to help.
yeah.
Instead of just, hey, we're going to be
We're gonna be
irresponsible parents, and you know.
And let the teenagers handle it, because teenagers are known for making
Well,
all the
even
right choices
better,
all the time.
Let's let our 10-year-old handle it. You know, how often do they do this in stories?
yeah.
You know, little kid story. Okay, so we, you know, have it where the family's going, hey, wait a second, you know, we didn't realize, we're first they're going, oh my gosh, what kind of house do we buy, like this thing's and then going, man, we get so much more than our money's worth on this, you know. So I think it could be fun. Okay,
Yeah.
so our hero is going to be someone in the family.
Yeah.
All right, I'd say
I like
teenage
a
boy.
teenager. Yeah. I like
Okay.
a teenage boy.
Okay, and so we've got what's going on in the monster land? Is it something, you know, where somebody's trying to take over
You
their
could
land?
have a villain
where-
in the monster land.
Yeah.
You could
The main
have a
question
bad
with that
guy there.
is it something where you have some monster who's causing a bunch of mayhem, or something where it's a problem with reality itself?
I like the I like the monster causing mayhem.
Okay,
Yeah,
Breaking down reality
I
is
like-
hard to do right.
that's
you
fair.
could do a monster causing mayhem, and then you could have your mayor or your whoever who's trying to tell everyone, oh, this is how we're going to solve it, be the one who's causing the monster to cause mayhem.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
So
so
then
then
you've
you've
got
got-
intrigue and a big
Right.
monster at the end, and that way your family can kind of split the you
Right,
know,
the different people can do what they do
yeah,
best.
some of the fun, you know, because if you're a teenage boy and his dad are, you know, you can't.
For some reason, I'm thinking
leave
of
everyone
having
in
it
the
so
family
that the
can
10-year-old
contribute.
girl is actually the best fighter among them.
I doubt that, but
I don't
Well,
think so.
it's a world that's partially forged by dreams.
Okay,
You could actually have that make sense.
now, if there was a monster coming here, you know, I'm being the parent, I'm sorry, I'm still kind of stepping back and letting you guys fight it. I think
Yeah.
I'd be a little more
Dad would be in the front
reliability.
line.
You know,
Yes.
I might run
Well,
for
that's why it
gun.
might help to have more than one problem. And you know what you do if you've got a girl who's a 10-year-old and have her be a fighter wannabe. You know, she wants to be ninja. She thinks she's so tough. She thinks she's so big and bad. Have her go to Monster World, have her feel like, wait a second, I'm not actually that strong. And then, in the end, let her fight something, not with her, you know, battles, but
There,
No, with
no,
the
you
truth.
get the guys fighting the monster, and that's the moment where the, you know, let's suppose small mom like me and the little, you know, little girl are the ones creeping through to get the
Mhm.
evidence against the mayor.
there you go.
They're the ones that are going and hiding, you know, hiding places that, you know, none of you
Mhm.
tall people can. You know, yeah. Let's see those, you know, 6 foot
Hey,
guys hide under a
you know,
desk.
you'll just hide it behind me. That'll work.
Yeah, you know.
Oh dear.
Never hire me as a bodyguard. Yes, I can protect up to your waist, right? Okay. If you're tall. Okay, I'm not
Yes,
that
but
short.
no, I
Yeah, you know.
but yeah, but then you could have it where everyone in the family can contribute just in their different
Right.
ways.
So we send,
yeah, letting the
we
little
send
girl who
off
wants
the,
to be
you know, we send off the
ninja
mom and
warrior.
kids doing the little, and
Yeah.
that could be kind of a fun thing too, because you could get them in there trying to go sneak the things, and you know, going, okay, we
Uh-huh.
need somebody even smaller than me to do this. Hey, you know, and let's make this a fun, exciting story, because
Yep.
you know,
Or you could have the really young kid throw a tantrum for the distraction.
oh yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about kids who are really good at throwing tantrums.
I don't know. There
It's
probably
not like
wasn't.
have like 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have 4 kids, so you have 6 that are really good at throwing tantrums.
Something
right.
like that.
Okay,
Anyway,
so I'm liking this.
I think it would be
So
fun.
I think our hero is probably the teenage boy.
son?
Mhm.
The one who
teenage
ends up going into
Yeah.
who gets that room and ends up sleeping in that bed.
Right.
Yeah, have
So
him
we're
be the main
basically
character.
saying, you know, you were Joseph type of person or something.
Yeah.
So
have him be the main character, but then
where's
have
the and I would like to, if you're going to have something where there's a big battle at the end, to make the parents not totally irresponsible, I would love to see the son do fencing or martial
Mhm.
arts or something. So we're not saying, okay, yeah, we're going to bring our son with us to,
Yeah.
So I would like to see him have some training.
Yeah.
And so, he's
You
got,
could do
they're
that.
not,
If you don't want to have him pre-trained, you could have some of the monsters train him in combat.
yeah, that could be fun too.
Mhm.
They're not mutually exclusive. You could do both.
That is true.
Okay.
You could have it be, it's like, you've learned how to fight people who are fighting you fairly. Let's teach you how to really fight.
Yeah, that may work for points, but,
This is how you
Try something that might make it so that there's a reason why he's the one who's fighting instead of these monsters who usually when you make monsters they're vastly superior to humans. You could say that a being crossing over will actually have the universe kind of confused about what they are, and so will actually help protect them so it can figure out what this thing is.
Well, there could be. I mean, you
or
could
they'll
put
gain
in,
some kind of ability or have some advantage over the
there
monster.
could be something affecting the land so that the monsters can't, there's some kind of barrier keeping monsters out to this guy. But human anatomy is different. It doesn't stop.
No,
There could be-
it's simple. You just simply have the wavelengths of the two universes be slightly different. And so when the monsters come into our world, they are slightly unstable. And because of that, when they interact with a fist from a human, it kind of superimposes stability how the universe is supposed to be, because they're foreigners to our universe. And so therefore, it's like, okay, you're practically punching him out of existence type thing.
Yeah, at the same time, though, we want to have the
Mhm.
final battle, I think, in the other world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
that one I
So-
can't help you with.
No, you do. Actually, one thing that could happen is there could be something special about humans that when they get in the other world, they are stronger. They're actually stronger than the monsters.
Mhm.
There could be some, I don't know.
Something in the air.
I
Something
don't know.
in
Here's
the...
one of these points where I would come and say, okay, Michael, how do I do this?
Honestly, I don't know how to do that well.
Having a being-
That is like one of that. I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. That's probably one of the top 5 dumbest isekai tropes. Is when you get to another world, you get superpowers. It makes no sense, and it almost never does make. Even when they give explanations, it makes no sense.
But you can still enjoy the isekai.
No,
Okay.
Mom,
you
we
haven't
showed
seen
you the
isekai.
4 good isekai.
yes, you've seen like
Okay.
We showed you the
Okay.
4 good ones. We
I
did not
stand-
show you the 370 that are awful.
I stand
Okay.
corrected. You see the scrutiny my books have to take. I figure, though, by the time I can get them through my boys' scrutiny, that the readers are going to love them.
Oh, that's not scrutiny. It's just that isekai
just that
is
isekai is
trash.
awful.
Everyone knows it, even the fans of it.
Okay.
Okay. You could
I'm a fan of isekai, and I'll admit it's awful.
even
Anyway,
okay, you don't necessarily have to have it be something though that it's a physical ability. You could have the humans have a more developed society, and so they go, oh well, why don't you do this? And they start throwing it, which isn't quite as exciting for a movie or but you could have them
City Builder?
more or less
could-
have them know things about the world
could
that
also
this
have
would make a
monsters
great
don't
city
know.
builder.
You could also have
point.
Mhm.
you could also have something where the bad guy is using some kind of chemical to
Mhm.
weaken the monsters
Yeah.
in his land.
well, and that they
and
can come in
he's
and out of their
using-
world.
But he's
Oh,
using
sorry.
something to weaken the monsters in the land, but the humans aren't going to be affected by it.
Yeah.
So the humans will
You
be.
could do that.
You
Could
That
also
would work.
have your humans if they can come
There's
out.
methane in the air. You monsters can't possibly deal with it. Man, this air smells bad. Continue. Anyway,
Yeah.
continuing.
You could have, but if you're
Technically, it's actually incorrect. Methane is actually odorless. It's the hydrogen sulfide that makes it so that it usually smells bad.
okay. You could also though have if your family can go in and out of the world, if they can come back once or twice, they might be able to grab some supplies from their world because if they have bug spray and
yeah,
bug
they could
spray
have,
and mothballs,
yeah.
and then the monsters are like you're wizards from you're
That
wizards
could
with
be
these
fun.
mighty magical powers.
Okay, so love story in this.
Okay,
well,
so
if
does
it's
he
just
fall
a
in love with a
family-
human or a monster?
Let's try a human.
Okay, do not go with his sister. No.
I was not going to
That
do
is one of the worst isekai tropes.
I wasn't
Alright,
going to
yeah.
go with his sister or cousin, That's
How
kind
about this then? You have he's been date because if you've got a teenage boy, and this is mostly taking place in their house and in the hidden world. What if you have something where he has a girlfriend, he really likes her, or he wants to be girlfriend, he wants to make her his girlfriend, but the parents are concerned about it and they're kind of coming in saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't be with her." And so she ends up coming, I don't want her to sneak into his room, but have something where she ends up coming over to visit or it could be a school project, a girl who comes over to do
Well,
school
that's
stuff.
fun. I like the giving the girl this coming over with the school project. And so she's coming over with the school project, and sometimes at the most inconvenient times.
Mm-hmm.
So she's coming over and she finds him
That could
just
be really cute.
doing whatever kind of weird thing, And so, he's got a monster in the living room, and so he throws a blanket over it, and he's hugging this big, huge, oh yeah, what are you doing? Is it 4 o'clock already?
This is my aunt.
She's shy.
Very shy.
So you can have some real fun.
She's
I
cold.
think, with
that could
that.
be
She's
cute.
cold, so she's just gonna be in here. She's also very tall. Yeah, she gets
Ew.
that. Yeah, she gets that from her. My grandpa's. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's go.
Why does she have furry blue feet?
Oh, those are her socks. They're very fluffy socks.
Yes,
I told you she was cold.
Yeah, but I mean, just have, and
That
then
could be very
eventually
cute.
the girl figure out what's going on
Yeah.
and come in and then start working with them. Okay, so
It'd be really fun if they're chemistry lab partners.
Oh,
we were.
and then at the end they can find something in their in the
Monster realm.
in the monster realm that really helps them with their chemistry project to do something amazing.
Awesome.
Okay, so I think we got it.
I
Sounds
like
like fun. We could
Who
take
can
use
write
a lot
this?
more developing. I could write this.
I could see you having fun writing
I
this.
could write this. What about you,
Especially
boys?
with the
Yes or no?
family dynamics and the monsters.
Yeah, I
and
could
just
write
all
this.
together.
I need some help with the family
The- the fu-
dynamics.
The family dynamics would be, I think, a lot of
I
fun.
like
in
it when it's a blend of when you've got something that's both a blend of human emotions and interactions and love, and exploding giant monster dragon.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's-
So
it's
a fun
really neat.
combination.
So,
All
yeah, we
right.
can all
Well,
find
let
this.
us know what your thoughts on this whole thing are. Put any comments down in the comments and more
And
ideas.
yeah,
comments
give
in
us
the
some
hat.
ideas.
We'll see you next time.